boom, 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 boom. Sooners land themselves another recruit, the number one player in the state of Kansas, Michael Boganowski, the athlete that's listed as a linebacker, plays like a safety, but can do just about anything, committed to Oklahoma today. So, we got to dive into what Boganowski brings to the team, how he adds to this class, and we're going to look at some film like we always do. But before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thanks for pulling up to the channel. We're excited about when we bring an additional recruit. This is number 26 on the team, and we're going to look at the measurables of Michael Boganowski, the Junction City, Kansas athlete that will be joining this team. Shout out to Coach Brandon Hall, as well as Ty Bates, who was one of the recruiters on this. We're bringing in a hitter, another one, something that you Sooner fans love. You keep telling me you want more of, and that's what we're bringing is more of those guys that like to hit. So let's look at the measurables and dive into the impact that we're going to get from Mr. Boganowski. All right, you know the drill. We've got Michael Boganowski, 6'2", we'll say roughly 200 pounds. I've seen 6'2", 195. I've seen from him 6'2", 205. And he's tall and he's sizey. So he's actually built close to your NFL size type linebackers. And he likes to hit. Out of Junction City, Kansas. He is listed as a composite 4-star player, number one out of the state of Kansas. Rizos has him as a 4-star, 24/7, has him on their composite score, which take everybody's scores together, gave him a 4-star status as well. And yeah, he's tall, he can ball, and he likes to hit. And so I think the thing that jumped out for me about Michael Boganowski is that overall, I think he adds to what we've been trying to do at the safety position. He's got height, he's got speed, but the thing is, he's listed at linebacker. I mentioned that initially. He's considered an athlete, so that tells me this is potentially a cheetah type role. If he's come in there at 6'2", about 200 pounds, he probably can play cheetah, especially at the speed that he moves at. He also plays on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, he gets interceptions, he gets catches, he passes for touchdowns, he runs for touchdowns. They use him just about everything out there at Junction City. So he's one of those players that, of course, gets us all excited. But my favorite part about him is the thing I mentioned at the beginning of the video. The man likes to hit people. That is what Sooner fans want. Y'all want players that's going to hit, and that's what we getting. Coach Venables and staff, this entire regime has been focused on getting the players that will lay the hammer the way y'all like. And at the same time, wrapping up so we don't have a whole bunch of missed tackles, all of that jazz right in place. That is something that we're working heavily on, and you see this in his play. Just watching in the film, not only is he catching passes, but he's also wrapping folks up, and he's leveling them too. He's leveling them when he knows he levels them, they're going down. He's also to wrap up, and as you've seen this season in the way that Oklahoma has been playing, we're really good at tackling. Like, we're really good compared to last year. I think we probably got a quarter of the amount of missed tackles as we had in last season up into these 6 games. That's a massive gap, right? And that's what changes things. That's why we're sitting here at 6-0 in comparison to what we were last year, going to 3-3. And so as long as we continue to drive forward, it's going to be a big deal. But you see the film, you see the way he plays. He adds to this 2024 class we've got. I mean, at safeties, you got top 200 player Jaden Hardy, on top of corner Jeremiah Newcomb, Eli Boeing, Michael Patterson McDonald, the OK Prep. And so we're just building a cohesive class. And the good thing is, on top of that, with Boganowski being able to play multiple roles, and depending on who else we snatch up in here, I told y'all before this, I expect Oklahoma to take a big class. I expect it to be 30. And the NCAA announced recently that they're not going to limit how many players you can take at scholarship anymore. And so even though we were taking a bunch of 25s early, I sense we'll probably still see that as well, because they're seeing the winning and they're seeing the excitement behind the program. And they're like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. And I mean, who wouldn't want to be, right? That's something you want to have as a part of what's going on with your program. And I think Oklahoma's building something special with that. So I expect Boganowski to walk in here and be another key to what we're doing in the SEC. He's got the size. He could be under, he could be overrated. I sense that he's very much underrated. I mean, he's the top player in the state of Kansas. And so we're going after top players in Kansas. We're going after top players in Missouri. We're trying to pull all of that. And I think the thing that jumped out to me about Boganowski outside of his play was that offer list, man. When you go look at that offer list, he wasn't getting offered by slouches. I mean, regionally, he had the Kansas States, the Oklahoma, the Iowa States. He had your local teams, but Florida State was pursuing him. Missouri, of course, was pursuing him. He had Michigan on his back. He went and did a visit at Stanford and Florida State. Oregon State wanted him. USC and Washington actually gave him a site as well. When you're the top player in your state, by consensus and composite, that means you're talented. I mean, think about it. There's hundreds of thousands of players in high school ball. He's considered the top one in the state of Kansas. There's a lot of kids that play ball there. I mean, tens of thousands. So Boganowski is one of those that you want. You want to take the top players and you want to mold them into something special. And he's one of those players that have the potential for it. So looking at him, adding him to this class, I feel like class-wise, man, we're growing. We're growing for the future. I think that's the most critical thing to really think about this. It's not just about having full classes. It's about being built for the future, being built to compete long term. And as long as you're doing that, what's the complaints, right? Exactly. So you see the film, see what we're talking about. Hop in the comments. Let me know. What's your thoughts? 6'2", 200 pounds. Got your boy excited here. I told y'all. Y'all know I love looking at stats like that. And so if you made it this far and you like the content, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Love to have you join this family of college football fans, especially as we're talking a lot of ball, OU football, a little bit of Colorado and college football in general, especially around recruits, because it's always about the future. It's always looking forward to what's coming next. And so as we're headed to the SEC, we're going to bring SEC bodies with us. Don't worry. Those stars are going to continue. Our rankings are going to continue to go up. There is, I'm going to say, about 4 players I know about that are potentials that can lead us to about 30 recruits. We get these 30, man, just know that I'm going to lose my mind. So YouTube says check out one of these videos. I highly recommend it because y'all know we're talking recruits here. So we'll chop it up. I don't know, about a day or two. Peace.